Hello, everyone. Welcome back. It's me, Void. My pronouns are they, them, theirs. Today's going to be the last weekly reading that I post on Instagram. And let me tell you why real quick. Because fuck suck. Honestly, I just keep feeling this intuitive drive to spend less and less time on social media and contribute to social media less and less. There are good things about social media, but as with a lot of things, capitalism has ruined something that could have been good. With the algorithm, I mean, Black and people of color in general are oftentimes censored. Fat people are censored. Trans people are censored. It's just the censorship is a major issue. There's also weird things like my sister got locked out of her account after, like years and years of build up to like 22.7K followers. All of that work and dedication to the algorithm, and she's just locked out and can't get into her account. What else? There's no incentive for people to create free content on Instagram anymore. It's literally just supporting billionaires. And I'm sick of that. I'm sick of supporting billionaires. I want to support individuals. So I myself am moving over to Patreon, and I'm already supporting a few people on there. I'm a patron to a few people. And it feels really good to be a part of an actual virtual community where there's mutual support and mutual aid, supporting each other's talents and gifts, instead of this like weird Instagram thing of like, basically telling content creators that they need to make things for free just for exposure, and then who benefits from it financially is the billionaires, the corporations. So that's just a part of our collective structure that must and will change, is changing, especially thanks to Saturn being in Aquarius. This Saturn aspect related to Aquarius is all about innovation and changing the structure, the old structure, and seeing what you can shift within those more defined laws, which is the Capricorn aspect of Saturn, seeing what can be changed within those defined sets of, laws, rules, like the data set that has to exist. What can be changed within that, within those boundaries, in order to support the collective more and to create more of an integrated community. And that leads me to say that there's something else that's really been coming through about Aquarian energy that I would love to talk about. We have this building tension happening with Uranus and Taurus squaring Saturn and Aquarius. And now we have all this fixed squaring energy. We have, all the Scorpio energy. We have a stellium right now. We have Mars, Mercury, and the Sun all in Scorpio. During the new moon, we had the moon in Scorpio. And it's just building this tension to really call out and close out certain cycles. And for me, definitely the whole, the way I work and the way I contribute and the way I support is changing. And that's one aspect. And another thing that's really been growing in my awareness is this kind of Saturn and Aquarius push to separate out, right? So Aquarius is the I in the we. And Aquarius, the Uranus aspect, is this very rebellious, innovative, kind of disrupting energy. And Aquarius is this very bold, oftentimes very independent, idealistic persona that can show up and kind of change everything just by being their weird self, right? And they, less like Leo, who can be more obvious about it and desire more of the spotlight in order to lead by example. Aquarius does it in this very kind of aloof way. They just are different, whether they want to be or not. Aquarius, wherever you have Aquarius in your chart, is where you can unintentionally kind of stand out and break the mold. And, it's kind of being reflected in how everyone is being very particular, right, about their gender identities, their sexuality, their pronouns, their names, how they want to be addressed. It's like, it's almost like how we are unique is really being highlighted, and it's kind of creating this unconscious desire to really spread out and separate out to be an individual in order to create collective change towards what is better for all of us. So I had this kind of realization the other day that the age of Aquarius is going to create, at first, more separation within the collective, right? So people are going to separate out to find their individuality and their uniqueness, and really advocate for authenticity and really advocate for their own individual needs, right? Because that's true equality, is when everyone's needs are met, not when they're given the exact same thing, because not everyone needs the same thing, right? So at first, during the age of Aquarius, which is the part of the cycle we're in right now, with the help of Saturn and Aquarius and all this squaring tension happening, everyone's being like, there's a little bit of resistance in the field. Everyone's kind of, there's a resistance between people, and it can come out in a lot of different ways. It's the bickering between the left and the right, and like all these different like identities that are against one another, opposite. You know, that's just a part of the cycles, to separate and find what makes us unique. And, you know, there's a little conflict involved in that. And we're going to see this increase. We're in this time where everything's kind of happening at once, but right now there is more of the separation being highlighted. But at the same time, you'll find more people coming together, like-minded small groups, individuals that really vibe, finding like your soul group, you know, like your people. There's huge potential for that as well. But the way that that's happening is by you separating out. Does that make sense? So it's like you might find that the people that you've hung out with forever, you know, maybe it's just like, I can't relate to these people anymore. Like, I need to find something else. Or like you have this desire to really branch out and like find new community. So you're separating out from what you're used to. Or you could be doing that within yourself. Like, oh, I've always identified as this, and all of a sudden I just feel this pull. Like, example, a lot of people who know me know that I usually wear black, but lately I've been really drawn to earth tones, which is like kind of weird for me. And black I consider also an earth tone, but like I've been wearing more like brown and green. I'm like, wait, what? So it's just like this need to separate out even within yourself and find something new and kind of innovate and update who you think you are and who you want to be. So again, the separation that occurs at first can be challenging. And the reason I'm talking about this for this week is because we have the Scorpio stellium, which, as we know, Scorpio energy is really good at cutting things off if it's not right. If it doesn't intuitively feel right, Scorpio has no problem cutting a bitch off, right? And it can be very all or nothing. It can be like, you're either with me or you're not. You're either my friend or not. You're either like my lover or not. And that's not what I'm saying is you have to be all or nothing, but I feel like Scorpio season is really giving us a push, especially the new moon was pretty challenging, at least for me and a bunch of the other people I know that have like harsh Scorpio placements. It's like we were really called to address things and like change some things and even like consider like our relationships, some people even separating in relationships. Like, it's just, there's this huge push to innovate and to create much needed change. And the way it's coming through, because of this Uranus and Taurus squaring Saturn, also Uranus and Taurus being opposite of Mars and Scorpio, right? It's creating much more tension, and it's like, do it. It's almost like creating this like impulsive desire to blow up your life and change everything. And I don't recommend doing that, but what I do recommend doing is really reflect on that energy and feel it. Like, try not to get too heady about it, and like try not to just go right to decision making unless you really feel intuitively called to it. The point is to go into your feelings during Scorpio season. The changes you need to make will become clear, especially during Sag season. And also with the full moon in Taurus on the 19th. I wasn't going to go into the whole month, but I feel called to say this now. the full moon in Taurus on the 19th is also a lunar eclipse, and this is starting a new eclipse cycle. And as we know about eclipses, it usually clears out some things in your life that aren't needed anymore. So if you do feel really restless and you don't know what changes you need to make, but you like have this transformative energy kind of like just shooting through you because of the collective vibe, you know, it's a good time to like clear out your closet, you know, go through and see which things you just don't wear anymore, update your wardrobe, get a haircut, things like that. Like more physical, tangible things can help, as long as it's safe, of course, and you're not hurting yourself or others. But really this week, also with Venus moving into Capricorn, and also the moon is in Capricorn today too, that's also bringing in this energy of updating, right? Because Capricorn's really good at seeing the big picture and knowing what needs to happen in order to get things in order, because Capricorn is that Saturn aspect of structure and the governing rule set, the data set, like what is possible given the rules and laws of reality, of physics, of the way things currently work, right? I think about this a lot with capitalism. Like, I used to be so against money to the point where I had my reasons for doing it, and I'm glad I did. I learned a lot, but it got to the point where, you know, I was houseless and basically living out of a car and like camping and dumpster diving, and that was great, but it was like I built such a resistance to money, and some things happened that really showed me that money is not bad. Like the system we have is bad, but given the system I have now, given the system that I was born into and that exists now, what can I do to liberate myself and others? And again, this goes back to Patreon and like supporting artists' work directly instead of just consuming like passively on Instagram while Zuck gets all the profits, you know? So, and also just like, with this Taurus energy coming through and Scorpio, it's like, what are your natural like gifts and talents? Like, where can you update your life more from a place of authenticity so that you're supported doing what you love? And again, Venus in Capricorn, like through what you truly value on like a systemic level, like put your interests and your focus on your values in terms of how you structure your life. And like, it's a good time to just take stock of everything that isn't supportive to your value system and like your authenticity. And by the way, Venus is usually only in a sign for, I don't even remember what it is. It's like maybe 4 weeks. So it's like a shorter period of time, but Venus is going to retrograde. So we actually have Venus in Capricorn for like 2 months. It's going to retrograde and then go back, through January, I think January 24th or 16th. I don't know. I'm so bad with that time stuff, but it doesn't matter. The point is that Venus is going to be in Capricorn for a minute. So it's going to be a really good, like the rest of the year is going to be really good for just kind of like updating and remembering, you know, like what is really important for you so you can restructure your life come Aquarius season through Aries season and really update your life and set a new structure for yourself that's more supportive to your value system and your true authenticity. But taking it back, sorry, I went way ahead, but taking it back to just this week, this energy, especially the squaring between Saturn and Jupiter, the squaring with Saturn and Jupiter both being in Aquarius, so there's different aspects squaring Saturn and Jupiter. So it's kind of like this week and like extended a little further into the month. It's like the ideas of needed change are flowing, and maybe some things already happened for you during the new moon in Scorpio on the 4th, but there's like this building resistance. So it doesn't really feel like you can maybe take action or like make those decisions, but this tension is building and this pressure is building to create needed change. And what those changes are is going to be different for everyone and is going to largely come probably through like dreams, because again, this is Scorpio season. So, you know, the more intuitive, the deeper feelings, the dreams, and pay attention to your emotions in dreams. That's the most important thing, is like, what is the deeper emotion behind what you're dreaming? And I have some crystals that I wanted to show you, that I thought I needed to have present for these readings today. We have Garnet, which is super pretty, and there's like deep bits of red in there. I don't know if you can see it, but very, very grounding for the root chakra. And then we have Labradorite, which is related to Scorpio season. And it's just, it's like, it reflects that scorpionic ability to like see through everything and like see magic in things, and also just that deepening of desire and passion. And then smoky quartz has been a true ally for me lately. I've been wearing it a lot, and it's, you know, for warding off negative energy. And when I talk about crystals, by the way, just to make it clear, like, everything in our reality holds a specific vibrational frequency. And that's just, you know, that's physics. It's whatever, it is what it is. However you feel about those terminologies, it's like it has its own frequency. But at the same time, I don't think that a lot of these frequencies, especially when it comes to plants and like minerals and crystals and stuff like that, can be activated without intention. So that's when your magic comes in. You have to really open your energetic field to allow your energy to intermingle with the energy of whatever the thing is. So that's why, like, you know, if you sit and meditate with a crystal or with a plant, that like a medicinal plant, you know, sometimes you won't feel anything if you're just like whatever about it. But if you truly focus on the energy and like open yourself up more to it, you might experience things differently. It's all about intention and about your belief, right? Most things in our reality are. So if you don't believe crystals do anything, they're not going to do anything for you, and that's fine. I find that crystals are just a really good way to remind myself of what I'm focusing on. So it's almost like a subconscious effect. Like if I wear smoky quartz, every time I look at it and remember I'm wearing it, it reminds me that I'm not attaching to negative energy. And that allows me to detach from anything negative that comes my way. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's like a feedback loop. Yeah, so it's like a little sidebar. Okay. Let's pull some cards for this week. So yeah, you should definitely join me on Patreon. If you've been enjoying these readings and like the stuff I talk about, there's going to be much more content on Patreon. And if you're just interested in like monthly information, and monthly readings, and then like maybe some other things I choose to post, it's only $5 a month. So that's literally like $1 and change a week. And, then the $10 or $20 tier, it's the same thing. It's just I gave people options. If they want to contribute more, they can. I'm not like going to pressure anyone to spend more than $10, but for $10 a month, there's going to be a lot more information. So I'm doing classes now, like in person. And so I'm going to post like handouts and things on my Patreon. I also am going to be posting a lot of like sound clips of just like metaphysical and spiritual talks that I have with myself on my voice memo app. So today I already posted one. It was my first real post, and it's about Uranus and Taurus and the nervous system. And that's really interesting. So definitely check that out and become a patron if you want to be a part of my online community. And Patreon's really cool too, because you can message and I can have like polls. So you guys can tell me what to post about and what to do talks about or whatever. Like it's a community space, and I want it to be as much about what you guys want in your direction and what you want to learn about, as much as that as like what I just want to talk about and what I feel is relevant and like my own channeled kind of messages and things. So yeah, and we can also just support each other on there. You know, I thought even about like holding a live, you know, once a month, and everyone can jump on the live and we can just chat about whatever we feel like, and also just check in on each other. And you know, we can each hold space for each other to talk about what they're going through. And I just really want to create a support group, especially because the people I communicate with on here are from all over. And I know that you know, it's hard for us to see each other in person. So let's meet up online, you know, in a better way than Instagram. Because again, fuck Zuck. This is going to be terrible for the algorithm. And you know what? I don't care. The algorithm is not my master. The algorithm is not my daddy. And neither are you, Zuck. Anyway, let's get into messages for the week of November 8th. Sacral energy. I mean, obviously that goes without saying with all the Scorpio energy. We have 7 out of 10 of the major planets in fixed signs. Either now or at one point this month. I remember looking at it. I didn't write that down in my notes. But yeah, 7 out of 10 planets this month in fixed signs. So that's just a lot of solidifying energy and also a lot of tension. So yeah, lots of self-care, especially anything to do with water, being next to water, taking long showers or baths, aromatherapy, drinking more water, hydrating, lemon water. I've been drinking a lot more tea. Tulsi tea, holy basil is really good. Mint, peppermint, anything that's soothing to the gut and to the sacrum. You know, turmeric, ginger, warming herbs if you have any inflammation. I just felt an interesting energy rush through me. If some of you, whoa, I don't know if some of you are having headaches or feeling lightheaded, vertigo, something like that. Or some of you just have so much going on, it feels like whiplash. Like I felt like almost a head rush, like I stood up too fast. Blood pressure, needing to calm down. Yeah, it's the nervous system. Y'all should go listen to that Uranus and Taurus talk that I did. The nervous system is super dysregulated right now. And all this Scorpio energy is not helping with that. So really it is about self-care and true relaxation and restoration. Like relaxing is not just sleeping. It's like being present and not looking at a screen, especially. Yeah, that makes sense with like the headaches, and I'm feeling like really lightheaded. So I think it's a call to get more into the deeper, the lower chakras and get kind of out of the head. Give your eyes a rest and your head a rest. You know, like maybe instead of like looking at a screen or reading, take some time to close your eyes and visualize that way, or like listen to music and play a board game, or like go for a walk outside. Just do something that doesn't involve too much focus with your eyes. That's something I'm hearing. Some of you might be getting migraines. Meadowsweet tea can be good for that. Passion flower, blue lotus. Yeah, there needs to be support for the third eye right now in your literal eyes, and then spend more time focusing on the lower chakras. So eating root vegetables, being in nature, like I said, baths, being in water, indulging in like dance and sexuality, sex practices, sex magic, really decadent like meals that are also very nurturing. You know, grass-fed beef and root vegetables for some of you, and then for others of you, seaweed. Maybe making a seaweed salad, or like making a nice broth with some seaweed and like making like a miso soup or something with some nice seaweed broth. Mineral content, also nettles, which is it's a Scorpio plant. Yeah, I was getting that earlier today. I was thinking about ordering some nettle tea. So yeah, there's something with the mineral content. So dark leafy wintergreens too, for sure. For everyone, always and forever. All right, that's a lot. Let's card about it. This week, what is the vibe for the collective? Ooh, hearts popping off. What's going on with the heart space? It feels like transmuting energy, something transmuting in the heart. King of Swords. It's that Aquarian energy. So maybe you are making decisions this week. Yeah, the sun, that are about the future. And maybe you're not acting on them right now, but you're internally, with this Aquarius energy, you're internally making a decision, deciding, and it's like official. It's like, that's it. And then, yeah, with the sun card, like this is going to be more enacted next year. Maybe between Aries and Leo season, or, you know, just like next year. And it's like it's for a bigger, better, and brighter future. And it's going to be very heart-opening, whatever it is for you. Queen of Wands, wow. More Leo energy and Aries. Yeah, so something about Aries season next year, things are going to be popping off in a much different way for you. You're going to be showing off more. There's something about self-expression, about living your truth, authenticity. So yeah, you know, everything I was challenging about, like channeling about the astrology, is very much relevant to all of you who are connected to me and watching this. It's like you are very much in tune with the collective flow, and by flowing with it, things are going to be so much better for you. Like you're really using the collective energy right now to change your life for the better. Like you're listening to these aspects. Like, I don't know why that's the only way I want to word it, is like you're listening to the planets, but it's unconscious. You're just very connected into the grid, you know, the matrix, in a good way, because matrix just means blueprint, right? It doesn't mean like the matrix like in the movie. But you're very involved and like linked into the matrix of energy, that flow, that universal flow. And that's a good thing. Like this group, whoever's watching, is not resisting, which is what we want to see. Ace of Swords. Yeah, there's a new idea or insight coming in this week. And it has to do with how you express yourself, how you show up in the world. It might be, you know, also things about your body. Maybe something you need to heal about your body, or just like wanting to be more physical. Something also about movement. Some of you could be making decisions on moving. Yeah, the king has found his sword. So you've been like reflecting on needed changes for a minute, and it's like finally this week you're able to come to some sort of conclusion and solidify that through some greater insight. And it does also have to do with, because we have like the bee imagery and the sunflower imagery and the tiger. This does also have to do with you standing out in a community and taking more of a leadership role in a community, and trusting yourself and your inner guidance. Like you are truly taking on responsibility for your life and seeing yourself as your own authority. I love that. And the Fool. Here we fucking go. Aries season is gonna be popping for you. Like it's gonna be popping. Literally popping out of the egg. It's like you've already been through judgment. Like you've had a judgment call. You're making decisions this week internally that are going to be acted upon like within the next 3 to 6 months. But Aries season especially, there's so much Aries energy right here. And I'm not assuming that all of you are Aries, so I'm assuming it has to do with Aries season. And also, these could have been things that you started thinking about during the Aries full moon back during Libra season. Yeah, but you're doing it. You started thinking about it, and so now you're really dedicating yourself to that vision. Again, Aquarius is like that vision of how to innovate. And you're ready to pop out of your little egg. Soon enough. 9 of Cups. So this is about wish fulfillment. This is about you stepping into a new sphere of reality. Like you're like really taking things in a new direction, and things are going to look very, very different for you next year. Also, for some of you, water and sound baths. So taking a bath while listening to like some kind of like sound bath on YouTube or some sort of meditation music, and envisioning yourself in the egg, in the cosmic egg, in the void. like a void meditation, but in the water would be really good for you right now. But this is also healing. So you could also be doing sound healing, or like just like needing some healing through nurturing with that water energy. 5 of Wands. Okay, so there might be like a lot to do right now or coming up, and you're feeling like a little bit of chaotic energy surrounding you. There could be like a lot of people that need your attention, or like you just have a lot of ideas and creative projects going on all at once. But 5 of Wands is also like persistent effort and like keeping with it and not letting the tense energy that I've been talking about hold you back or scare you. It's like you're moving through it. Again, I feel like this group is really not afraid, and just having really powerful breakthroughs, and you're not going to let any tension or feelings of resistance energetically kind of hold you back. And like I feel like you guys are going to really learn how to manage the energy in a way that supports your creativity instead of allowing it to overwhelm you, and then like you have like roadblocks because you're overwhelmed. Again, I feel like sound can really help with that. Like if you do get overwhelmed, like just like trap your consciousness in a wall of sound, whatever that means for you. And Page of Pentacles. So things are still moving a little slow, step by step. Sorry, it's so dark in here. I can't believe how dark it gets so early. I forget every single fucking year. It's like, it's always the same. Like 4 o'clock. Okay, it's nighttime now. Great. But yeah, with this Page of Pentacles, you might also be getting an offer or like a surprise offer that'll bring you more income, or an offer to start a new project or a new job or a new relationship. And it's something that's going to be long lasting, but it's going to be one step at a time. Or this could be just from a person who's very grounded and really knows what they want. They have very strong values and beliefs, and they're approaching you with an offer because they see so much value in you. That's kind of saucy. I wonder if that's about love. Probably not. But I'm going to clarify this week's energy with some more cards. Yeah, I feel like most people right now are stepping away from the importance of, not the importance of, but just like focusing less on their lovers, partners, whoever. And it's like really going within and finding out what you need personally. Again, it's that separating out. There's like a separating out that might be happening for you, but it's because you just want to find your authentic self and your individuality. And like, that's totally fine. Doesn't mean you have to lose everyone in your life or be fucking alone. Like, it just means that you might need some space. That's fine. And that doesn't have to last forever. So please clarify this energy for the week. Whoa, that was aggressive. Ace of Cups. So I said, I wonder if this is about love. Probably not. And it still might not be, but this Page of Pentacles for some of you is an offer of intimacy. So that can be, that doesn't have to mean romance or like sexual. It doesn't have to be romantic or sexual intimacy. It can be like with a friend, or it can be, you know, even with like a coworker, just someone opening up to you, or you're opening up more. So someone, this could be you or another person, is coming forward with more vulnerability. You're showing up more vulnerable and also more grounded and wanting to make connection. So I know I said the separating out, but it's about you being the authority. So maybe focusing less on, how do I put this? It's like if you're in a relationship, maybe you're not focusing so much on that partner, but you have this desire to reach out to other people for support, you know? So maybe like your relationship is solid and you're kind of like not focusing on that as much, and you're wanting to be more emotionally vulnerable with like new people, like friends or colleagues. You're just wanting to show up more vulnerable. There's this like need for deeper connection with others outside of, yeah, and I was talking about this earlier too, that Aquarian energy of like separating out, and it's just like maybe you're just desiring new connections. And that doesn't have to replace the ones you have now. It just feels like, oh, maybe I want to try something new. Maybe I want to talk to someone and be more vulnerable than I have before. Maybe you have someone in your life who you just met and you're like, this person seems really cool. I'd love to get to know them more. Or it could be like a friend who is more like an acquaintance and you're like, you know what? I really would like to have a heart-to-heart with this person and maybe we can be closer friends, you know? It could be so many different things. I'm going to stop. Yeah, maybe before you felt like pressured by a lot of new people coming into your life, but now you're in a place where you feel more grounded so you can show up more vulnerable. 7 of Swords, okay. So some of you might not want to be talking about something. This is under the 5 of Wands. Oh. Interesting. There's like 2 very different energies side by side. So there's like the one energy of feeling overwhelmed and like there's too many people to talk to and like you don't really feel like talking. And then there's like this energy of maybe there's like a few people that you would love to open up with more. So maybe you feel overwhelmed. And that makes sense for Scorpio season because Scorpio is like very magnetic feminine energy and likes to draw people in, but doesn't necessarily like being bombarded by like groups of people. So that makes sense to me. It's like, I don't want to be vulnerable with everyone right now, but there's like a few close people who I'd really love to get deeper with. And that can be people you already know. I'm not going to tell you it's not, but it's like a new level of vulnerability with a select few. And then like around the majority else, you might feel a little guarded. Or it might just be that you're feeling hypersensitive. So you're like kind of closing off your energy like when you're in public, for example. Or like if you work with a ton of people, maybe you're like, you have a wall up when you're around bigger groups. But then when you're with like friends or lovers or people you want to get closer with, it's like this beautiful vulnerability comes out. So it's really like you reserving your social energy for people that you want to get closer with right now. It's like you don't want to just open up to whoever. It's like whatever deeper intimacy you want to cultivate in your life, it's with people that you truly connect with and you have value with, and like they see the value in you, and you're wanting to nurture those relationships instead of just like anything, which is very on brand with all the Scorpio energy. Is this supposed to be in reverse? No. 10 of Swords. Under the 9 of Cups. Something, okay. There might be an understanding this week of something in the past that you thought was a wish fulfillment that didn't work out. There might be some disappointment in realizing like, oh, this isn't actually what I wanted. And that's okay. That's a part of this Ace of Swords too. This realization or this insight this week of what you really want. So you have to confront what didn't work in the past in order to move forward and innovate and make the necessary changes. So right now, you might not be acting on these decisions or ideas you're getting, but you're reflecting on the past and understanding now why other things didn't work out because it wasn't actually in alignment with what you really want. Is this supposed to be in reverse? Yes. Okay. So 3 of Swords in reverse. This showing up with the 10 of Swords with the Fool. I feel like this again is about vulnerability and opening wounds that might be painful, but it's opening them out to heal them, which is going to close them out, right? So there might be a bit of reflecting or reminiscing this week on things that didn't work out, and you're like just getting kind of a higher understanding with this King of Swords and the Fool. Like you're understanding what needs to heal in order to move forward and start on this new path. So the next few months, actually, there might be a lot of deeper healing and a lot of these swords falling out, like one at a time. It's like, maybe that's what this Ace of Swords is. It's one of these swords that fell into your lap, and now you're having to look at it, and it's all bloody, and you're bleeding, and you're just like, oh God, like, I didn't even realize this wound was there until the sword fell out, and now I got to deal with it. But again, it's for the better, because once it's done, it's done. Once it's healed, it doesn't hurt anymore, right? It's kind of like you've had a thorn in your heart, and it's been like, boom, 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 like kind of like inflamed and like pulsing, which is interesting too, because I was getting those feelings of like blood pressure stuff. So it's almost like you've had a thorn. And this could also be, by the way, what I was talking about with like health. You might be figuring out a health issue or something that's been causing health issues, and you didn't even realize it was a problem until it kind of fell in your lap. So something about gaining insight this week on whatever this thorn in your heart is, this thorn in your side, you know, it's something that you weren't aware of that's been causing pain, that's kind of just falling out this week. And you're going to be forced to see it, but it's okay, because it's going to lead to your wish fulfillment and this bright new future ahead of you. Judgment. I said you already made judgment, right? I said that. And now judgment's showing up with this Three of Swords in reverse. So yeah, it's like, again, this goes back to what I said. You made a call about something. Maybe it was disappointing, or you're disappointed. You realize it didn't work out. That's okay. And Queen of Wands again. So for a lot of you, this has to do with projects, jobs, things that you initiated that didn't work out, probably dealing with creativity. Maybe you thought you had your dream job and it was really disappointing what happened. Like you got fucked over, or someone screwed you over, or it just didn't pay off, or you lost it, you lost money. You started a business, it didn't work out. There's just something about a call you made in your life. It was fully from your own authority, and it didn't work out, and now you're having to see and understand why it didn't work out, because what you truly wanted, that's not what you truly wanted. There's something better that's more in aligned with your vision, with your intention. And it was almost like this was like a trial period. Like you had to have this little trial period to fail, so you would know how to do it in a way that's truly in alignment with you. And to get the Queen of Wands twice, again, this is like you in your, the Queen of Wands is like you in your power. You're sensuous, you're attractive, you're initiating things, you're going after what you want, you're creative, you're bright, you're leading, you're, you know, people are watching you. You're receiving that validation and support through your direct action, and something that you used that energy for in the past didn't work out, and now that you're healing from that and realizing that it didn't work out for a reason, you're moving towards what is truly meant for you and where this energy is deserved to be put, and where you will be truly valued for that. So this could also be in communities. So for example, you tried to connect with a certain group of people or be involved in a certain community, and maybe it didn't work out, or you were tossed aside, you felt tossed aside. There was something about it, you thought it was wish fulfillment, but there was something about it that wasn't quite right, and you're better off that, you know, that it didn't work out. Is this supposed to be in reverse? Absolutely not. This is not supposed to be in reverse. Ten of Cups, because that's what you're after, and that's what you're gonna get. But also, okay, again, with the Seven of Swords and Five of Wands, interesting. Yeah, you might be closing off a little bit to your community or your friends, because again, there's something about you wanting to branch out somewhere else or like redirect your energy. But also, all of these challenges are just happening to get you to the Ten of Cups, which is true fulfillment, because we have the Nine of Cups and the Ten of Cups. So like, yo. You are on your way to getting everything you've wanted. Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups. So this is not only like a renewal of your emotions and your passion, but this is a renewal of stability. So anything that's not working out or didn't work out is because it was not stable. It's like building your house on straw, out of straw, when you need to build a house out of bricks. So you're being given a chance to rebuild with bricks. Okay? And 4 of Cups in reverse on the bottom of the deck. So underneath it all, you're not avoiding what needs to happen anymore to see your visions come through to fruition anymore. You're not willing to ignore what the universe is offering you. And also, you're not just waiting for doors to open anymore. You're actually taking action. So you're actually meeting the universe now, whereas before you would kind of just step through any door that came through for you. And that's why it would always look like half right. It would be like half right, and you would convince yourself that it was a wish fulfillment. But it was like just whatever was available. So now you're truly meeting the universe with intention to co-create what is more in alignment for you. Hot. Well, let me know how that goes. Again, this is going to be my last Instagram weekly reading. Everything from now on. This will be on the Patreon as well. And I'm probably going to do a monthly reading as well. So definitely check out the Patreon this week. But if you forget to this week, just remember starting next week, everything's going to be on Patreon. I'm still going to post on Instagram, obviously, but just not these like, you know, these deeper readings. All right. Catch you later.